Greetings, gamer guys and gals. I'm Zeake, welcoming you to the 15th part of my Let's Play Fire Emblem Path of Radiance. Shall we begin? The Begnion Empire, the largest nation on the continent, is a theocracy dedicated to the goddess Ashira. Reigning from the summit of the empire and guiding the world with the voice of the goddess, the Apostle Sanaki rules Begnion. As Ashira's chosen vessel, the Apostle is showered with love and respect from the entire nation. 7 imperial senators aid the Apostle in the governance of her realm. This system of government has been the backbone of Begnion for many long centuries. After Ike and his company aid the Apostle, her holy guard takes them to the imperial capital, Cyan. The upper class of Begnion society live lives of pampered comfort and luxury. Known as the Sainted, these elite power brokers reside in massive temple-like homes whose spires dominate the skyline. The guiding tower overlooks all from the heart of the city. Here, Ashira holds her vigil, watching over the world. Surrounding the tower is a series of temples, both large and small, placed in an orderly, systematic fashion. One temple, however, is conspicuously larger than the others. It is the Grand Temple Mainel, home to the Apostle. Ike and his company, used to the freedoms of Crimea, find the differences in culture and custom to be very confusing. Chapter 14, Training. Mainel Cathedral. Ahem. Now then, you have proclaimed yourself to be the orphan of Crimea's King Raymond, Princess Elincia, Rydell Crimea, correct? Yes. I have heard stories that King Crimea had a daughter in secret. My men have reported as much to me in the past. However, whether you are the princess or not is another tale. Do you have nothing that would lend credence to your claims? Nothing at all. It took all of my energy simply to avoid capture by Dan. I had no time to secure any proof of my claim. Huh. And with Crown Prince Renning also dead, there is no one who even knows your face. What am I to do? I will vouch for her. My Lord Ike. I have no doubt that Princess Elincia is the true heir to the throne of Crimea. Oh, really? And tell me, what gives you this strength of conviction? If we believe her story, this woman has not engaged with the outside world since the day she was born. So how is it that you, a lowly mercenary, dare to assert her authenticity? The Dayan army pursues her with bloody-minded determination. At every turn, they demand that we turn Princess Elincia over to them. What further proof do you need? If someone of proper standing made that pronouncement, I would accept it as irrefutable proof. But you're a commoner. You have no surname, no documented lineage. You have nothing. I know commoners. They are poor. For a price, they will support any lie, no matter how outlandish. Oh, now I suppose you will tell me you are the son of some noble house? No, of course not. But wait, perhaps you're a royal knight of Crimea. I am neither a noble nor a knight. I have no connection with the palace whatsoever. And no matter how much gold I stood to gain, I would not betray my convictions. Elincia has paid us, yes, but nothing more than the standard fee to purchase our services as her escort. Nothing more. We have come this far only because we believe Elincia to be a woman of integrity. We could not sell our swords to a liar. I don't care how high and mighty you might be. I will not stand here and let you mock the bond of trust that ties us to Elincia. My Lord Ike. How dare you? Who are you to address the Apostle so crudely? Guards, guards, seize this man. For this abuse of the Apostle, the penalty can be only death. Halt! Sephiran was right about you. You are very interesting. Apostle? Sephiran, that monk we rescued from the prisons? A monk, was it? His disguises are always so clever. It never ceases to amaze me. As always, he remains an enigma. Heed my words. Sephiran is in truth Duke Belces, Prime Minister of Begnion, and my most trusted advisor. He has been traveling the neighboring lands for months, trying to ascertain the condition of the people there. We have received detailed reports on Princess Alencia and the mercenary company serving as her escort. So, you knew we were coming? You knew who we were all along? Yes, I apologize for testing you. You see, life here in the palace is so dreadfully dull. I am always so very bored. Thanks to the princess and her brazen little escort, this interrogation proved to be an amusing diversion. Oh ho ho! So that's what this was. How very like you, Apostle. A cunning game of wits and words, simply smashing. Even your most loyal servant, Duke Oliver of Tavanus, was on the verge of being completely fooled. I am humbled. Oh ho ho! Come, Duke Lacane. Ahem. It was all a ruse, was it? Oh, Apostle, you do tease us so mercilessly. Still, it was not such a bad way to amuse ourselves, was it, Duke Hetzel? Oh, too true, my good Duke. Princess Crimea, it appears that you have put quite a smile on the face of our beloved Apostle. What an honor that must be. Ho, ho, ho. Yes, I suppose. Madness. Oh yes, I almost forgot, in all the fun, Sephiran has already vouched for your identity as the true Princess of Crimea. I require no further proof. You may rest easy. I am most grateful. Wait a minute. Yes? What is the meaning of this? You knew Alencia was Princess Crimea, and you continued to humiliate her for your own entertainment, to some stupid game of wits and words? This is no joke. Alencia's homeland is lost to her. Her family has been hunted down and killed by the monsters of Dayan. And with nowhere else to turn, she endures mortal danger and terrible heartbreak to reach your door. And then you laugh at her? Where's the humor in that? Where is your decency? You're horrible. You are all horrid people. You disgust me beyond words. And you owe Alencia a proper apology. My Lord Ike, please. Wretched peasant, you loose that treasonous tongue once more and... Duke Lacane, restrain yourself. But... I am speaking, be still. Now then, Ike, I fully understand your feelings. Your passion for your employer is truly a beautiful thing. Would that my own fawning vassals shared your commitment. However, truth be told, your behavior does test my patience. Raise your voice once more to me, and you will seriously damage the princess's already precarious position. Do you understand? Not really. Why don't you fill me in? Even if Alencia is truly Crimean royalty, she is at best heir to a dead country, nothing more. Without Begnion's support, Alencia's claim holds no meaning. Am I mistaken? Pah! Even if we harm her fragile feelings for the sake of her country's future, she must stand by and say nothing. In fact, she is in no position to do anything but beg for Begnion's favor. Or hadn't you noticed? I have much to consider. For now, I shall take my leave of you. I will meet with my senators soon and discuss this state of affairs. Crimea's future will not be uncertain for long. Until that time, I suggest you rest and relax. Perhaps you could try your hand at our courtly games of wits and words. What incredible nerve to take advantage of our situation and speak down to us like that. I don't care if she's the Empress or the Apostle or whatever. I can't stand her. Listen, Ike. Isn't it possible that the Apostle saved you? What? Titania is correct. Begnion is a nation ruled by time-honored custom and ancient conventions. You insulted the apostle, the very symbol of their way of life. The fact that you are still breathing is a miracle. I hadn't noticed. And as her escort, your criminal behavior would fall directly on your employer, Princess Alencia. If you had truly angered the apostle, any hope of restoring Crimea would have vanished like a puff of smoke. That's madness. They would sacrifice a whole country to satisfy their own egos? Ike, this may not be much of an answer, but letting madness rule the day is the prerogative of nobility. The Bjork divide themselves into classes, and with classes comes prejudice. From the moment of our birth to our final dying gasp, we commoners know we are not allowed to defy the upper classes. Princess Alencia, I'm sorry. My ignorance does not excuse my stupidity. I truly am sorry. No, what you said in my defense and in my honor. It made me very pleased. Huh? To see you so angry on my behalf, your words filled my heart. It wasn't as noble as you make it sound. However, there is one point that I would contest. It is true that I've lost my family and my home. But I did have people to turn to, people to rely on. My Lord Ike, you and your company were at my side. For me, this has been a great source of inspiration and of happiness. Princess Alencia. My Lord Ike. Please call me Alencia. Huh? That would be improper, wouldn't it? I mean, you're our employer, and you called me so earlier. I did, really? You didn't notice? No, my apologies. I'll be more careful. Well, I suppose we should go. They've prepared rooms for us. Ah, my Lord Ike. Ike, here's a summary of our last battle. Earned 7,100 gold in selling things. Decent combat EXP, MVP Titania. Very typical. Very typical. And a new ally, Astrid, which we still have yet to talk about. We'll have to speak about her very shortly. There were no casualties, and no one suffered permanent injury. We fought excellently. That's all I have to report, if you'll excuse me. All right, back to base. Let's go to info. Psst! You want to hear something? There's a rumor going round that a tiger subhuman has been seen on the foggy banks of this very river. What? You don't seem surprised. All right then, how about this? That subhuman, they say, is always in beast form. It can't change back. Right frightening, ain't it? The only way for us humans to fight them savages is to wait for 'em to change out of beast form. I mean, how can we kill 'em if they won't change? Still no reaction, eh? What a bore. I was about this juicy morsel then. Was saving it, I was, but I heard from my darling in the army that tigers, cats, and other four-legged subhumans hate fire magic. That's a useful tidbit, ain't it? Oh, I knows things. You there, serving wench. There's work to be done. Why are you wasting time chattering on? What's wrong? Just saying hello to one of our new servants is all. You fool, this is no servant. Oi? A what? Oh, crikey, Princess Crimea's escort? Oh, a guest of the apostle? Oh my gosh, please forgive me. What should I do? Oh, he looked right angry, he did. I might get sacked. Well, if it isn't Ike. Out for a walk, Commander. Hello, Gatry. Yeah, if I stay in that horrible, gaudy room for too long, I start to feel depressed. Is that why you're out here, too? No, I'm here for different reasons. I'm just admiring the flowers. Oh, right, yes. They all seem to be in bloom this time of year. The large yellow ones are especially pretty. Not those flowers. Those flowers. Gatry, we're inside. There's nothing here but the temple handmaidens. Exactly! It's like a whole new species of girl lives in Begnion. Everyone in this palace is drop-dead gorgeous. You know what I mean, Ike? Tee-hee. Say, which one strikes your fancy? That buxom lass with the chestnut hair is Hey, Ike. Ike! Bah, he's still just a boy. Commander Ike? Oh, it's you. Are you trying to clear your head as well? Yeah, I guess so. I'm just walking and thinking about things. Begnion is so odd. I don't understand this country at all. I can see that. Everything's so wrapped up in form and tradition, it feels like Begnion has lost track of more important things. You're some noble house's daughter, are you not? What made you decide to become a knight? To escape my royal family. No, not to escape, but to confront it. I want my life to be my own. How do you like being a knight? I'm still not satisfied. I may now be a knight, but my hands still shake when I draw my bowstring. So perhaps my goal was not simply to become a knight. Perhaps my true goal is to become stronger. Commander Ike, the others say that you never give up, no matter how bleak the fight. That seems like true strength to me. Please, allow me to continue fighting by your side. If I remain with you, I will grow stronger from your example. Your skill with the bow is spectacular. How could I possibly refuse your request? We're pleased to have you. Oh, thank you very much. Ah. That was quite a sigh. Huh? Oh, nuts, you heard that, handsome? Sorry about that. You've been behaving oddly lately. Something happened? Piffed. I'm fine, it's just, well, being here in Begnion is difficult, you know? Difficult? You were a member of the Pegasus Knights here, weren't you? Aren't you happy to see some of your old friends? No, I'm not happy. It's so blasted embarrassing. I can't bear to face them. What? I told you why I resigned my knighthood, haven't I? Yes, you're searching for your brother. It's my brother's fault. Argh, that no good chum bucket. Maybe we should just drop it. Huh? Oh, no, don't worry, I'm fine. Don't let it get too much to you. I don't want you distracted in a fight, alright? Got it, thanks. Ike's a brother too, so why is he so different from my brother? Potentially because not all men are the same? Go figure. Grr, lazy do-nothing. Alright, so we have some supports here that we could meander on. I do believe that I'm going to give Ike and Soren the A rank, and not Ike and Oscar, which kind of stinks in one way because Soren only has one other supporting partner in this game, and I'm not using him. Oscar, however, has 3 others, and I have a feeling we're not using any of those either. So we're kind of like stuck in a crossroads here. What I wouldn't give for better supporting partners in this game. Alrighty. We do have skills to give, and in fact we have the Occult Scroll. The Occult Scroll is interesting because it gives different skills based on the class you give it to. Like for instance for Warriors and Berserkers, which there is only one of each of those in this game, unfortunately. In certain conditions, increases damage when units' constitution exceeds enemies. Now this is the only use in game of the statue fragmentations, or the fragments, and that you get one of those in Chapter 10 Prisoner Release in the upper right hand corner chest, which I totally skipped because it would have taken too many extra turns, and I do have a tact for wanting to go through the game kind of quickly. I don't like turtling, I don't like taking my time. So, you know, you can use that. And any other statue fragments we get, I'm probably going to give to Boyd for this, because I do intend on giving him Colossus. However, we do have other units that we could possibly give this to. Like, for instance, Soul is the skill for Valkyries and Paladins, and in certain conditions restores as many HP as the damage dealt to the enemy. That's really good. It's personally a great skill, and Titania, Oscar, and Mist would all love that skill. We will have enough Occult Scrolls to give most of our units occult skills if we want them to have them. So we're just going to go ahead and throw this on Boyd here and call it a day. Alright, so we did not talk about Soth's skill, Blossom, when I got him. And part of that reason is because I am not using him for combat, so there's almost no purpose to this skill for him at all. Because all this does is it grants units fewer experience points. It cuts the experience points gain in half, but enhances growth over time. It increases his growth rates. However, it's not that simple. It's actually quite a complex situation, especially on fixed mode, but basically it just means that Soth has much greater growth rates basically than the average unit. He doesn't promote in this game, and there is a story-driven reason why that is, and a functional reason why that is, in the sequel to this game, Radiant Dawn. However, there is only one niche use for giving Soth any kind of levels in this game to transfer them over to the next game in this niche, and that is if you're going to raise his magic and resistance to at least 10s, possibly 15 on each, so that he can have a bit extra magic and resistance for the niche that he would be supplied with that in that game. He doesn't really need either, and they're not going to be that useful in the long run. So it's kind of pointless, if you want my honest opinion. If he had the ability to promote and transfer better stats, maybe. However, the interesting thing about this is even though he cannot promote, unlike another unit we have, another thief, Volk, Volk does get to promote, but his promotion is based on a specific time in the game, so it's like a storied promotion, sort of like Lord characters in most games, which is kind of weird that he gets that same treatment. However, if you were to use Soth as a combat unit, about the only thing he's going to be missing out on, strength-wise, is 3 points. Because that's the difference, just 3 points between his maximum and the maximum of his intended class promotion's maximum strength. But he would be missing out on quite a bit of skill and speed. Either way, knives are terrible in this game. And even the best knife in this game, the stiletto, which we're not going to get for quite a while, is really poor. You can't forge knives. And knives are just treated pretty poorly in this game, and I don't understand why. They could have been given much more utility, especially if you were able to forge them, at least. I mean, even this knife forged would only have 7 might maximum, which is pretty pathetic. That's 1 less than the stiletto. And I have my doubts that they would allow you to forge the stiletto in this game, seeing as it is effective against knights and cavalry. So knives would probably be pretty useless unless they were rebalanced like they were in Radiant Dawn. I do like knives, and I wish that they were a staple feature of the games from this point forward, at least a Radiant Dawn iteration of them. But that's not the case. They've just disappeared. It's sort of like Three Houses. Three Houses gave us these new weapons and gauntlets, which are by far my favorite weaponry of all time in any Fire Emblem game. Regardless, I just love them. However, it is likely that those are going to be a Three Houses or Fodlan exclusive type of weaponry. We could possibly one day see a sequel to Three Houses, which would be cool in its own right, which I'm hoping would still have gauntlets, but it's likely that those will probably stay in Fodlan, just like knives are staying in Tellius. Unfortunate. Well, the other unit we have here that we actually got last chapter is a Bow Knight, who starts at level 1, halfway through the game. Yes, you can patch her up with bonus EXP, which is totally viable. She could be a unit you could early promote even at level 10. And she has pretty decent growths. And because paladins can choose their weapon, their second weapon that they get upon promotion in this game, she has that option, so she's not stuck to bows forever. If she was, she would be better than most archers in this game, true, because she'd have Canto, but she'd still be an archer, a bow user, and that not a perfectly, usable one in all of the utility, because mounted archers, I don't believe, can use longbows in this game. The reason why I'm not using Astrid is because I just don't have a space for her, but she is a perfectly serviceable unit. Interestingly enough, she does also come with the Paragon skill, which doubles the experience points this unit gains. This is in battle and in bonus EXP, which is pretty awesome. So you can take full advantage of that. And there's only a few characters in this game that get Paragon, so this is kind of a pretty unique skill in that matter. You can't get a Paragon scroll to give anyone Paragon in this game, which is unfortunate. It means that the units that have it are the only units who will have it, and if you want to use a Paragon using unit, you have to use them. I typically don't, because I don't think that the only class in this game worth using or worthwhile are mounted and flyer units, so sometimes I pass it on by. But she does have redeeming qualities, and interestingly enough, if she has the Night Ward equipped, now I've witnessed this happen twice, where she's gotten 2 speed points upon level up. I am not sure why that is. It might have been because I was playing on fixed mode, and fixed mode queues stats, which kind of seems odd that you would gain 2 stat points like that for her, because I do not believe that even with the 30% boost to speed that the Night Ward secretly gives, I do not believe that her speed goes above 100%, so I'm not exactly sure why she gained 2 stat points in speed, and I wish I had video proof of that, because it's happened to me before, and I've never seen it since. But that's basically the rundown of those units. Now, we do have some bonus EXP, which we could give our units just to top off a few that are pretty close to leveling up. However, I'm not really concerned with this at this current time. I kind of want to save it. And if we do not get a Master Seal remotely soon, because I do not recall where all of the Master Seals are in this game. Again, this is not a planned run. I like my casual playthroughs. I have pretty decent strategies. I know what I'm doing, but I don't know where everything is. So if we don't get a Master Seal soon, I might have to save up the bonus experience points I have to just load them all on Soren if he's not promoted by a specific time, because I would like to have another staff user. Alright, so let's go ahead and check on things we have to deal with in the convoy. I have a whole lot of things to throw to the wind over here. We're not using you or you. And we got our first Legu's axe. We're done using you. We can go ahead and give that Legu's axe to Titania. That's my thought here. That Titan axe is pretty close to breaking. Alright, let's see if we have anything to sell. Truth be told, we're probably just going to sell most of our effective weaponry right now. Except for the Legu's weapons, which will come in handy in the chapters to come. Alrighty, we got a killer bow. It is far too bad that Boyd over there doesn't have a higher rank in his weapons. We'll keep the tomes just in case Soren needs them at a later date. And we are going to remove these coins just to get rid of them in our inventory. We don't need them. They would only be useful if you were transferring them over to Radiant Dawn, which I am not intending on doing. I don't really particularly care for transfers to Radiant Dawn. I think it makes an already pretty easy game too easy, in my opinion. Alright, so we do have an energy drop. Who do we want to give that to? I think the winner of that of the day would happen to be Mia. She does need a little bit extra strength to get some some more damage out there, because she has a little bit of trouble getting damage out there. Exactly. All right, let's move on. I am so bored. We've been here for 5 days already, and there's absolutely nothing to do. They gave me free reign to wander the temple, but I've seen everything. I'm tired of it. I take it Princess Alencia has been invited to yet another social gathering. A little time off is one thing, but this? I guess I'll get in some fencing practice. Ike, the captain of the Apostles' Holy Guard, is headed this way. I beg your pardon. Are you and your mercenary company enjoying your stay here in Begnion? Is there anything you find wanting? There's nothing to do, and Mist is bored. Ah, Ike, why'd you have to say that? Weren't you just complaining about the exact same thing to me? You said you were bored and tired of everything. That doesn't mean you should go spouting it to everyone. Oh, you're such an idiot, Ike. My apologies. Neither of them meant any offense. They're just frustrated. Yes, I understand. I will pay it no mind. Did you have some reason for coming to speak with us? I bring word from the Apostle. She wishes to charge you with a task. The Apostle wants to employ us? I didn't expect this. Interestingly enough, if you look at the background here, it is shrouded in fog. Keep that in mind. Expect what? Your reaction. I'd have thought that you would be spouting and fuming at the thought of working for the Apostle. If Princess Alencia can tolerate endless social gatherings to judge Begnion's mood and garner her favor, the least I can do is help her earn points by running an errand or two. Ike, they're coming. So we lay in wait for them here, right? Yes, the Apostle's orders were clear. Stop the band of merchants traveling on the old highway and seize their cargo. This does look to be the best spot for an ambush. All right, I don't know who we're facing, but we're on the job. Let's do this right. Old Town Road. A poor crop this time around. Cats, tigers, and a few crows. All we've got are laborers. We're not going to get rich with this. Oh, and we worked hard to catch 'em. Is it as bad as all that? I've been selling half-breeds for 25 years. The ones that fetch the highest price are the trophy Hurons. And if they're white-winged royals, the fanatics will empty their purses of every last coin. Well, if that's the case, why don't we hit Serenus Forest next time? There might be a few of them left. You're the brains of a dead wyvern. Why do you think Hurons are so expensive? It's because they're rare. It's been 20 years since that mob burned Serenus. The Hurons were all roasted like chickens. No matter how you look at it, that was utter lunacy. All that gold up in smoke. Oh, if they're so valuable, I'd like to see one with my own eyes. I'd catch it and put it in a cage. Idiot. Think what you could buy with all that gold. A new axe, oh, and some furry boots, too. Shut up, fool. Stop your daydreaming and look over there. What? Who are they? Bah! Look alive, lads. They're not common travelers. Here they come. Titania, are you sure this is the right bunch? This fog makes it hard to see. What fog? What fog, Titania? But their numbers and appearance match our intelligence. It must be them. Well, they've certainly seen us. They're readying their weapons. Very well, get ready to fight, everyone. Alright, we can remove a few units here, as we do not need them. And we can just allow some units to go over to the right. I think Titania, Marcia. Boyd as well. I think the rest of our units will go up north. Not sure if we have anything to steal but just in case, we'll bring Volk. Alright, let's go. Okay, so first things first. We have a house to visit. Oh, bother. Buying all these things is well and good, but I simply can't carry it all. And where's Largo? He leaves me in this backwater burg and wanders off to goddess only knows where. Hello? Oh, you there. Today's your lucky day. You've arrived at just the right time. I have something nice to give you. I just got back from a shopping spree, and I got this as a free bonus of sorts. Oh, please, no need to thank me. When you're a sophisticate like me, you never want for trinkets. Or men, for that matter. Well, toodle-doo, then. Be sure to treasure that for the rest of your days. Now, which way to the nearest city? And we got a spirit dust. A magic item that increases the user's magic power, and I know just the person to give that to. Missed. She'll probably not be receiving that this chapter, however, because she's not going to be going with our esteemed Boyd, Titania, and Marcia to the left. Okie dokie. Steel Ants to finish off this peddler. Pretty easy task, pretty easy task. Alright, so the reason why we're going to the left and we're making a rush on it is because there's some peddler bandits that are going to try to burn down these houses. But also because there's a weird pink-haired guy here named Makalov, and we want his red gem. Is that all we want? Who knows? Alright, so let us go ahead and heavily damage this man here. And no adept, thankfully. We did not exactly want him to be defeated by Soren, that's for sure. We do not need the Dagdar sword there, that's for sure. Also. And you are gone. I'm sorry to say, but you've had better days. You know, even the inner animations look foggy. So unfortunate. Interesting level up. Very magical, if you would say. Yeah, so on difficult mode, this would also be the second chapter in the game that would have Fog of War. And personally, I'm not a big fan of the whole changing map mechanics like this. You know, this game was obviously designed story-wise with this chapter and Chapter 5 being Fog of War chapters, so they should have stayed Fog of War. There's different things they could do to make the difficult mode more difficult. And then there was also the thought, well, Zeake, why aren't you playing difficult mode if this is such a problem for you? Well, as I said before, I'm not exactly a casual Fire Emblem player. I've played every difficulty of every game just about, and have had success with it. I'm not really a hardcore player, though. I don't find my fun in Fire Emblem by sweating to death, or worrying about this unit or that unit constantly. I have more fun just messing around with strategies and seeing exactly what I can do in the gameplay. Now, there are a couple of things that you are missing out on by not playing difficult mode, including the final boss fight. The final boss fight is way more difficult and way longer in this game if you play on difficult mode, which is something that I don't like. I don't like that you have to play on difficult mode for that. Again, a lot of these game design decisions I don't particularly like. Then again, I'm also not particularly fond of playing a game where they think that difficulty means having 40 extra units per map to throw at you. So I guess I'm at a crossroads, you could say. We might be able to damage this guy. I say that, and Oscar is just having none of my statement. Nothing to do with what I said. An alright level up, I suppose. And that's our phase. Ah, what terrible luck. My sixth sense told me that the weather would be nice today. Hey, grumbling and whining won't pay off your debt. Come on. Beautiful, cough up my gold. I'd dearly love to pay you, but unfortunately, I'm broke. Not again. You're employed as a bodyguard. Why don't you have enough gold to pay me back? Grrr. When we get back to the base, I'll get what's mine. Try to run and you'll pay in pain. Threaten all you like. I can't give you what I don't have. Ooh, I hope that sounded brave. Oh dear, what am I going to do? It seems I must go crawling back to my dear sister once again. Oh, she's going to be so mad, but in the end, I'm sure she'll help. After all, it's for the life of her brother. Right. Tonight I pay a little visit to the barracks of the Sacred Pegasus Knights. Alrighty. It's absolutely funny that even with weapon triangle advantage, you just can't get anything done, friend. And you wouldn't get anything done. Take this guy out with Marsha. She could always use the extra EXP. Wow. Boyd doubling a Myrmidon? Well, he is wielding an iron blade. Nice crit, though. Yeah, I'm guessing there's nothing I can do to take this guy out without totally defeating him, so we'll just have at it. I believe we'll be taking his Legu's lance as well. Oscar will definitely appreciate that weapon. Thank you for your contributions. Now, you have to be very careful. You can accidentally draw him in. He will attack you. And my units that I've sent would pretty much destroy him. Pretty much. Alright. Okay, we can take him out with the Iron Blade. Why not? Mia could stand for wasting that weapon. And she has gotten to C rank, which means she can use the very coveted Legu's Slayer. And Killing Edge. I don't think we have any Killing Edges yet, though, so that might be not so pointful or impactful. Alright, Ike. And you get hit. Hilariously surprising. Let's just say that. Take this poleaxe guy out. This chapter is actually a very short chapter if you split up your team. If you don't split up your team, this chapter is a slog, because you basically have to go around in a circle unless you just skip the houses altogether, which is not a good idea in my personal and very humble opinion. There is a lot of very good things you can get out of those chests. I said chest. There's a lot of very valuable things you can get out of those houses. Heal up Ike. And we can take this guy out with Oscar. Awesome. Well, that fire didn't do you much good, and neither did that javelin. How unfortunate. Alright, that's the end of our phase there. I am not surprised he went and attacked Ike. After all, Ike cannot actually attack back. There are so very few long-range swords in this game. Interestingly enough, Ike gets the best one. Interestingly enough, also, there are very few long-range swords in the series that are specific to the Lord characters alone. And Ike gets potentially the best one, which is pretty phenomenal. They're crushing us. They're nothing but a pack of rats, but they fight like demons. Har har. But no matter how tough they are, there's no way they can stand up to a real monster. Hey, you there, release the feral. Har har har. Now, all we have to do is sit back and watch them chew their heads off. They have Legu's tigers on their side. Pretty interesting. And they're called feral ones. You can't see it here, and it doesn't really say it so. But this is the interesting thing about the Legus as enemies in most of this game going forward. They do not have to worry about their transform gauges, which I think is good for them because they are enemies, and it would be kind of pointless if they just untransformed and you could defeat them easily, sort of like what happened a couple of chapters ago in Strange Land. But to be honest, it also just proves their glaring weaknesses and the reason why I don't have anything to do with using much of the Legus in this game. Alright, so moving on. Oh, that peddler has a hand axe. Alright, so even if he gets adept, yeah, it wouldn't have been a KO there. Which is alright, we're going to be giving it to Mia. The KO in question. Wow. An exceptional amount of damage. I totally forgot that the bandits have really poor defenses. Really high HP, but really poor defenses. You know what's interesting, too, is something I did forget to mention is that in Chapter 9, Gallia, when we sent Titania across the coast so that she could get those houses before Nadata and his boys came in and stole them from us, interestingly enough, there is some belief that Nadata was originally supposed to be a playable bandit, and that you could recruit him. He would obviously class change into a berserker. Now, you do get one berserker in this game, but personally, I think I would prefer it had Nadata been a useful and usable unit so early in the game, especially a bandit. That would have been pretty cool. How unfortunate. Plans change. Alright. And gone you are, oh fire mage. I'm guessing they have fire mages in this group to counter your own Legoos, because Legoos are a pretty good counter to other Legoos. Alright. I don't think... yeah. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and damage this guy. But we are definitely going to defeat the bow user with Mist to get him out of the way, so we really don't have to worry about anything particularly. Over here, that is. Alright, thank you for donating your Legoos bow. I really appreciate it. I can't use it anytime soon, but I appreciate it nonetheless. Might end up actually selling it because I can't use it. Alright, so now we have to talk to the buffoon with Marcia. But brother? Hey, Marcia, hey. Long time, huh? Good timing, though. I was just thinking about paying you a visit, sis. Long time, you dungy. Where in the name of heaven have you been? You racked up all that debt and then ran away. You're such an irresponsible skunk. Thanks to your worthless hide, I had to leave the sacred Pegasus night. Huh? But why? Because there were a bunch of debt collectors hanging around the barracks, that's why. Oh, that's a shame. Listen, I was trying to increase the money I borrowed and pay off the original, but it, vanished. And I swear that just kept happening. I'd almost get enough, and then poof, gone. Ha ha ha. You rat. You cheese-eating rat. You haven't changed at all. Let's go. You're coming with me. With you? Where are we going? What am I going to do? You're joining my company. I'm going to let Ike beat some sense into you. We'll see how that works. No, wait. I'm working for these guys at the moment, and, well, if I just up and joined with the other side, it might cause problems. Stuff it. Sponge brain. No more lame excuses. Follow me, now. Sorry, sis. Sorry, I'm coming. That was very easy to persuade him. I guess we could move Titania the other way. Eh? Did you say cattle? A battle? Stranger? What? Oh, danger! Goodness, what am I to do? Oh, maybe this will help, dearie. It's just lying here collecting dust, just like me. Never a visitor. Anyway, I don't know what it does, but it's pretty. If I gave it to my grandkids, they might write once in a while. Here, take it. Now do me a favor and protect my house, all right? No, my house. A mouse? Where? All right, so we get the Vantage Manual, which would allow somebody to have Mia's skill, a Vantage. Quite useful. It would be even more useful had we decided to pick up Nephany and use her, since she has the Wrath skill already, and the Wrath Vantage combo is still useful in this game. Hey you, why don't you lay down your weapons and walk out of here with your lives? You can posture as much as you want, but there's no way you can beat us. Shut it! I don't know why you're here, but if we lose our cargo, we lose everything. It ain't happening. In that case, we've no choice. You'll receive no mercy from us. And he attacked Ike. Now, I know for a fact he would have had a greater chance of dealing damage to Mist. I guess they just really don't like attacking young, helpless girls. How noble of these peddlers. Level 16 Ike. He has 4 more levels to go, and his promotion's not too far off, so we're going to have to make sure we get him those 4 levels. So one of the things about Fire Emblem games is that usually the Lord characters, their promotions are scripted in the story, and that's no different with Ike. If you don't have him up to snuff by that time, you're going to be missing out on some levels. which I'm not a fan of. One thing we could do, I don't know, yeah, he doesn't have anything to steal. I don't think much of any of these characters do. Very rare Volk footage. And we'll finish him off with Mia. He could have gotten a low percentage critical, which would not have been cool. But he didn't, and now Mia has an extra KO on her belt. Alright. I was ready to heal him with Mist had he gotten hit there, especially since he's already damaged. He's going to need the healing anyway, most likely, so we're just going to get to it. No adept, no critical. Soren, you're really slacking on proving me wrong about that whole, you know, chip damage thing. Alright, we can finish off this mage here. We're pretty well close to just defeating the boss. And being done with this chapter as a whole. Now, these units here do not move. The boss doesn't move. On difficult mode, I believe the tigers do move. Which is not really that big of a deal as long as you're, you know, decently away from them and you have a defensive line. The tigers are not that powerful in this game. At least the ones we're fighting right now. Alright, Titania, you might be needed to help take down this boss. I found this in the river, but my mom said it was dirty and I had to throw it away. Do you want it? Really? Alright, you can have it. Take care of it, please. And we get a secret book. That's all of everything. That guy's going to be coming soon, and we'll damage him with Boyd, as long as we don't KO him with Boyd, that is. And finish him off with our lovely Marcia. Good. Very good. Yep, and it's a clean finish, as long as she hits. Really wouldn't matter either way, since our Boyd over there has a bow equipped. We could just lure him in with that. They do like attacking those defenseless folk. Level 15, and a phenomenal level. Alright, so now we just have to move on to take care of the rest of our problem here with Gashalama, interesting name, and his tigers. So let's go ahead and do that, shall we? Elwind. Wouldn't have KO'd even if I got an adept there. Soren is just trying to get back into his role of chip damage. You see, they do quite a bit of damage. Probably would have been a good thing to have the Legue's axe or the Legue's lance actually not be dropped. But you know what they say. Hindsight is always 20/20. massive damage. Might be due to the fact that Mist does not have a lot of defense, that's for sure. But the goal with Mist is to get her to a C rank in swords, because then we can use the 2 arm scrolls we have to get her to an A rank in swords. Now that's as far as we want her to go with that, however, so we're actually not going to use that right away. Probably 1, but just 1. A little bit of chip. We're going to be taking him out next turn. Gashalama has a vulnerary, which we can steal from him, so we're not going to attack him this turn because he will use it. We don't really need the vulnerary, but we don't want him to heal himself if we can't finish him in a single turn. Perfect. Should be able to take that with Mist. Actually, we're going to take that with Mia, in fact. You're just like us. You eat meat, you ride horses. I mean, come on. We're not hurting any humans here. What's wrong with buying and selling a few half-breeds? And Soren has nothing to say. Probably because he would be buying and selling them too. Alright, let's hope we hit this. Aww. How unfortunate. And another unfortunate miss. Yeah, that critical rate is just too much. Too much. One thing we can do, though. Alright, finish off this tiger. And it looks like it'll be next turn for Gashalama. Very good, Mia. Very good. She's going to be quite the excellent swordsmaster. Yep, enemy units that do not move, bosses in particular, are just not that threatening in the long run. Alright. We can heal up Ike. Get that last little bit of experience points there. And we can defeat him with Soren. How did this happen? I've lost everything. Yes, you have, sir. Yes, you have. Including that killer axe we're going to pilfer from you. Level 16. And a pretty fair level up. Great work, folks. Our duty is done. Let's grab the cargo and get out of here. The Grail mercenaries have returned. Well done. The news of your victory is welcome, as is the cargo you seized. Now about your payment. Wait, this mysterious cargo is a bunch of really heavy crates. Would you tell me what they can... That. Your job was to deliver the cargo. You've no need to investigate further. But Princess Alincia has returned to her quarters. You would do well to inform her of your safe return. It appears that the Apostle will handle your payment on the morrow. Perhaps you can speak with her then. I beg your leave, I must be going. Very well. Thank all of you for coming, my fellow Legu's kings. It's been decades since all of us were gathered in one place. I would extend my gratitude to King Degencia of Goldoa, who arranged this meeting place at short notice. It was nothing, King Canegus. Fellow kings and countrymen, attend to my words. As you no doubt have heard, Dayan has invaded Crimea and overrun her, of course. Crimea is a Bjork nation. However, since the time of her founding, she has made every effort to engage the Legus with honor and dignity. Never has this been more true than during the 30-year reign of good King Raymond. During this era, Gallia and Crimea initiated many ambitious cultural projects in an attempt to bring our divided people closer. Yet one man has always reviled our work, the Dayan king, Ashnard. Why he took this recent course, however, I know not. Ashnard's actions are monstrous. His army has put much of Crimea to the sword. Her people live in terror. Her king lies dead. And now the Dayan forces continue their ruinous march across the border into Legu's territory, into Gallia. That trespass, O King of Lions, is because your country chooses to harbor King Crimea's orphan, is it not? Yes, that is the justification they would present. But the Princess of Crimea is no longer in Gallia, is she? Your spies are as efficient as ever, King Tibarn of Phoenicius. As you say, the princess has already departed for Begnion. I know this only because she came to the aid of a Begnion ship carrying the Apostle. Ah, so Princess Alincia is safe and in contact with the Begnion Empire. That news gladdens my heavy heart. I do not believe that Dayan yet has this information. If word got out that the Princess of Crimea has been granted sanctuary in Begnion, Dayan might halt its invasion of Gallia. Your information is dated, Hawk King. Have your legendary eyes and ears abandoned you after all these years? You have something you wish to say? Would you be so kind as to explain yourself, King Gilvis? Princess Alincia barely escaped Crimea with her life and then fled to Gallia. And yet a certain king of beasts there, one on whom she had pinned all hope, chose not to support her. With nowhere else to turn, the princess and her retinue spent 2 long months at sea, arriving in Begnion mere days ago. Dayan knows of these events as well, and the king has dispatched a team of hunters to make a corpse of the girl. And that, dear kings, is the latest news, at least to the best of my poor knowledge. Dayan knows the princess is in Begnion? King Kilvis, how did you come to possess this information? Why, there's no trick to it. I just perk up my ears and point them in the right direction. You expect us to believe that a stray wind carried it to your ears? This is an odd tale, Naysala. Do you think so? Well, there is one trick to information gathering that I know. Shall I share it with you? If it involves dealing with human scum, I'll pass. Foregoing my Legu's pride is not something I'm willing to do. Ha! Is that not always the way of Phoenicius? To cling to those last tattered remnants of pride? Instead of proclaiming that you will attack none but Begnion ships, just admit that you don't have the power to do more. What did you say? Both of you will desist at once. King Naysala of Kilvis, your actions of late can indeed be judged as too extreme. Black Dragon, King of Goldoa, what do you pretend to know of my actions? Please enlighten me. I would remind you of the Bjork ship you attacked in Phoenician waters and left stranded in Goldoa territory. Oh, that. Naysala, you lying crow. You've been sneaking about my territory again, have you? I heard from my own son, Kurthnaga, that a Bjork resembling Princess Crimea was on board that ship. It is true. What? King Kilvis, you? Don't act surprised. I have no intention of ruling some tiny island nation forever. I will make Kilvis a name to remember. To that end, no amount of gold is enough. Legu's or Bjork. I care not. If the pay is right, there's nothing I won't do. I care not about the reach of your ambition, but you should choose your methods with more care. What good will it do you to expand your domain, only to find enemies at your every border? I will take your words to heart for the time being. And you too, King Phoenicius. What good will your piracy do if it earns the wrath of Begnion? Continue at this pace, and there's no telling when the hostilities will end. Until the people of Begnion apologize for the slaughter of our brother Herons, I will do no such thing. Prince Ryson of Serenus, are you of the same mind? Those humans burned Serenus Forest and killed my people. No amount of human blood can slate my thirst for vengeance. For my siblings, for my countrymen, I demand justice. I cannot even return my bedridden father to our forest home. I am no soldier, I know nothing of war, so King Phoenicius acts in my stead. I am most grateful to him, and I would not see him stop until Begnion has paid. Blood leads only to blood, and violence begets violence. Nothing more. Revenge is simply another name for murder. And you, King of Lions, what will you do about your home of Gallia? Now that you know Daeon's feint toward Gallia is merely another move in his game of war, how will you act? They've made no formal declaration of war. Until they do, we watch and wait. If it's the first step towards eradicating all human scum, Phoenicius will help you destroy Daeon. No. Unless this becomes a true war among all nations, I want you to stay your hand. As long as Gallia is protected by the Sea of Trees, we can stave off Daeon's attacks. Ah, the luxury of a large nation! You would waste a chance to expand your territory just to remain the status quo? Sad. I agree with King Gallia. If we were to form a Legu's alliance against Daeon, we would drive Begnion to Daeon's side and lose a valuable ally. The flames of war cannot be fanned haphazardly. Above all, we must think of Leiron's medallion. Its location is unknown. But it still exists, we know this, and as long as it does, we cannot allow any war that could stand to engulf all our nations. Do you understand, Legu's kings? I beg of you, do not forget it. And a good little chunk of bonus EXP. Alright, that was Chapter 14, Training. I'll see you next time.